Thank you so much for coming along to this fundraising event, which will help raise money for the people in our adopted village in Cambodia. So you may be wondering, why Cambodia and why this little village? In the mid-1970s, the Khmer Rouge rose to power, and having decided that the country should mostly be agricultural, drove its people from the cities out into the countryside to become farmers. Former businessmen and bureaucrats were hunted down and murdered, along with their families. Schools were closed, books were burned. If you wore glasses or could speak a foreign language, or you were deemed just too smart to belong to this new society, you were also executed. The family unit was ripped apart, and before it was all over, 1/3 of the country's entire population died or were killed as a result. The remaining citizens were largely the uneducated and illiterate, and it is taking decades for the country to recover. And we chose our little village because it just seemed to be the one that nobody else wanted to work with. The other NGOs in the area deemed it to be so poverty-stricken that it really was not a good place to put aid into. And so now we have been partnering with ADRA, the Adventist Development and Relief Agency, in this village since 2014, and in December of this year a team of volunteers is heading there again for our 7th trip. In Cambodia, on average, 1 in 5 children die before their 5th birthday because of simple waterborne diseases, what we would probably just call a tummy bug. And perhaps this wouldn't surprise you when you find out that in our little village, of the 120 homes originally, only 2 of them had toilets. Most people had to simply go out into the rice paddy to go to the toilet, which is also where they got their drinking and cooking water from. Now this was by no means ideal, but they kind of had no other option. I would encourage you to ask your host for a flyer that will tell you a little bit more about what we have been doing in this small Cambodian commune and how this relationship is impacting its people. But it is great to know that every home in our original village now has its own toilet and water tank. Increasingly, parents are now able to run their own profitable little business and stay in the village with their families rather than having to go away to work. And probably most excitingly, not one child has died since we began supporting this village. You know, a little bit goes a long way in Cambodia and makes a huge difference. And sometimes it's hard for us here in New Zealand to understand just what a difference it makes. Akun means thank you, and these Khmer villagers are certainly very grateful to you. If you'd like to know any more about how you can help a little bit more, please feel free to talk to your host this evening and have a look at the list of the additional items that you could also sponsor. All donations are fully tax deductible. Any little or big bit helps, and we are so very grateful for you. And so thank you again for being a part of the team that makes a difference by coming along to this event. You really are changing lives.